hands on tonight. Even if I've got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. I'm not to be played with because it can get dangerous. See, these people I ride with. This moment, we own it.
Listen up, Cougar fans, wherever you are. Bird Screen Printing in the heart of La Follette next to Big Creek is the place to go for all things Cougar. T-shirts, caps, jackets, and much more. If it's Cougars, it's at Bird Screen Printing. 423-562-3044. Need T-shirts or caps or polos for your business, special event, or church function? Bird's is the business to call. Lettering, screen printing, and especially for all things Cougar. Bird Screen Printing in the heart of La Follette.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customer and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Now talk a little bit about the personal trainers. How good are they down here?
They're very great. We love Howard. He's very good with people. He always has people in here. He's working with them really well. They're seeing results. He's one of the best that we have, I would say.
So now, would you guys recommend your friends to come to Castleton's as opposed?
Absolutely. We got a lot of friends who actually have started coming here, and I would recommend this gym before any other gym in the Follette.
Families work out nowadays. Is this a good family?
Yes, it's very family oriented. They have places for the kids to play in the back if they're coming in while the parents are working out.
Right.
And it's very family oriented. There's things for everyone to do, really.
Hello folks, this is Robert again from your Sears Hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed or having a backache or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears Hometown store. So come on down to your Sears Hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Fortnite, the world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pasta, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Listen up, Cougar fans, wherever you are. Bird Screen.
Welcome to the Thursday night edition of Just Sports with our executive producer, Jason Shockley. My name is Les Martin.
And I'm Colby Bird.
We also want to say thank you and for tuning in with us for the next hour. Of course, the Campbell County Cougar basketball game, we're watching it.
A really good game.
It's a really good game. But Campbell County's up, I think, by 1 point over Halls, and they certainly need this victory.
Yeah, they do.
So
they really do.
We want to welcome you to the Sears Hometown Studio, and before we get started, as always, we've got to talk about our sponsors. First and foremost, we got to say thank you to Bird Screen Printing, downtown La Follette, beside the Birch Memorial Bridge. The phone number is 562-3044 for all your screen printing needs. Just like you see the Just Sports sweatshirt or hoodie that I've got on, the side that you see behind me, baseball uniforms. Baseball's coming up pretty soon, so make sure you get in there and get your orders turned in. Also, we want to say thank you to Charlie's Pizza, often imitated, never duplicated. For 38 long years, they've been doing pizza the old-fashioned way, and that's been earning your business and your trust with good food and good service. So make sure you tune in and take off down to Charlie's Pizza. And I just
saw that. That's why I hung my head a little bit there after watching that three-pointer go in.
Yeah. Their phone number for call-in orders is 562-0116 for a great place to sit down, family environment, family atmosphere. This is a place to be. Also, we want to say thank you to Linda Kilgore, State Farm agent. For 35 long years, she's been in the business. She knows what it's like when you go through tragedy with your home or with your car, when you're in an accident or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's personal. After you get your insurance, this service is personal from Linda Kilgore. Her phone number is 566-5000. We want to say thank you to your hometown Sears store in the Food City Center, Woodlands Mall. Anything that you need inside or outside of your home, their phone number is 562-7700. It doesn't really matter. Mattress and box springs. How about washer and dryer, stove, refrigerator, lawn tractor, weed eater, tools. You name it, they've got it. They don't have it in store, they can order it for you. So tell them all our sponsors that Just Sports sent you, Kobe and Les.
Yeah, sounds good.
Campbell County is losing right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
The girls lost earlier by a score of 45-36. They lost to Halls. It's one of those situations to where they certainly needed to get a win.
Yeah.
And right now they're 8-8 in the district. They're in about the middle of the pack of the district. With the loss tonight, they'll be 8-8, and they're 12-15 overall. So it's one of those situations to where it's a tough situation to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Campbell County boys, they're in a tough situation right now. They're losing. I don't know exactly.
Halls has the ball.
Yep, Halls has the ball. Don't know exactly the score. We'll find out here shortly. Wow. Anyway,
we just got lost in the game there.
Yeah, we just got lost right in the game.
Campbell County was leading the game earlier there. They were up by as much as 5 or 6 earlier with 2 minutes to go. And it looks like they lost the lead. It was under a minute, right around 40-something seconds left when they lost the lead there. So
yeah, it was on a 3-point shot by one of the Halls players. It's
now you
tough.
got Halls going to the line. So
yeah, it's a tough situation. Campbell County boys, of course, will get you their standings as well in the district. Depending on if they lose this game.
pending this game.
Right now, they're 6-9 in the district, 9-17 overall. They're about 6th place. They're 6th place in the district, which is not a good place to be. They had an opportunity to be 3rd because the 3rd place team is Gibbs at 7-8.
Yeah.
All Campbell County had to do was win against Clinton, and that game, just to be honest with you, was stole from them.
Yeah, lost by 1 point there.
Yeah, it was horrible. I've seen that game and watched the rest of it online. It was just crazy. But they're certainly going to need to win this game. And of course, the district tournaments, the standings and the way that they're going to play will probably come out tomorrow, sometime in the afternoon, to find out exactly where your Lady Cougars plays and where your boys will play and exactly who they will play against.
They were needing this game here, but looking on the standings, it looked like they would have been able to jump. If they would have won this game, they would have been able to jump ahead of Halls there. So
right, exactly, and Halls is
been a tough loss.
Yeah, Halls is playing. Halls is playing good basketball.
They must be playing good basketball.
7-8.
Yeah, because I remember early in the season, weren't they like 0-6, 0-7?
In the bottom, and Randy Moore, California kid Randy Moore with the suntan and the white teeth. You ever seen him?
No, I haven't actually.
You've never seen him in person?
No.
Oh my goodness. He's probably in his 50s.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably in his 50s. Suntan, tan in bed. I'm going to say tan in bed.
Yeah.
And he certainly has the white teeth to go with it.
We just hit
Campbell County just hit a 3-point shot.
That is the ball game.
And that's the ball game, and let's see what the score is. It looks like Campbell County won. Well, maybe it's overtime.
Looks like it's going to be overtime. Look like we're tied up, at 59 right there.
Yeah, tied up at 59.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
we'll
overtime.
take it, though.
Yeah.
We'll
Folks, if you
definitely
want to
take-
watch this game, you can watch it on 1450WLAF.com. Click on that big emblem, the Campbell County Cougar emblem, about a quarter way down the page. All right. Let's talk about signing day.
Yeah.
What do you think about signing day and of course the new offensive coordinator? I made the prediction that they would hire Mike DuBois.
Just right after signing day, and they did a day after.
Exactly.
So you were right
I
on
made
that.
the comment right that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm tooting my own horn here. Can you tell? Beep beep beep. But anyway, They hired Mike DuBois. He's the new offensive coordinator. They hired him after signing day. I knew they wasn't hiring before signing day because they was extremely too busy to do what they needed to do.
And I don't think really right there, an offensive coordinator, I don't think that really played a role in, where I believe at that point players really had their mind made up anyway. And signing a guy a day before signing day or a day after, I don't think it would really matter.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Speaking of that, does that go to show you that it's Butch Jones is the reason why these players are coming to the University of Tennessee? Because Mike Bajankian, of course, he went on to Tampa Bay as a quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
He went on there about a month ago, 3 weeks to a month ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. So apparently the kids that Mike Bajankian was recruiting decided to come to the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, it really didn't seem like it didn't matter. We really never wasn't a heavy impact of losing any recruits, which I think this was more of a defensive heavy recruiting class anyway, I believe.
Yeah.
Pan out to be, but.
Well, I was just kind of curious because the situation, the way it was, with everything there was that was going on with Mike Bajankian and not having an offensive coordinator and the whole 9 yards, I just kind of figured that it was, I just kind of figured it would hurt us, just to be perfectly honest with you, with some of the recruits.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could obviously, you see that a lot with teams where you got any coordinator or positions coach leave, you see a few recruits go with them, but the fact that he was going to an NFL team, I don't guess. If he went to another college team, I think you might have seen a couple players who would try to decommit and go to that college team. But when they going to the Bucs, I don't really think it made much of a difference.
Well, I don't either, just to be perfectly honest with you. Oh, we're having trouble with my iPad now.
Yeah.
Ain't this crazy?
Drew Richmond was the big sign though yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, getting that offensive lineman, they're 5-star offensive linemen. I mean, you can never have too many offensive linemen. So
I agree with that 100%. We got 5 offensive linemen and 5 defensive linemen, or 6 offensive linemen and 5 defensive linemen, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm thinking, which was very good, just to be perfectly honest with you. With the recruiting class, and we're going to get to the recruiting class right now with the final rankings.
I haven't paid any attention. I haven't really, looked and see where they finished out at. Have they got a ranking of each team, how well they did, or
yes? Okay. Yeah, we're gonna cover that. Hopefully, if everything comes up, we're gonna cover the Southeastern Conference because who cares about anything else?
No, it's all Southeastern Conference. All that matters.
Alabama, of course, was number 1 overall. ESPN had them number 1. Scout is the only one that had them a number 2 ranked team. But convincingly, Alabama was the number 1 recruiting class. The number 2 recruiting class in the Southeastern Conference, well, it doesn't say that.
Should be Tennessee, I believe.
Well, it is Tennessee. Yeah. It is Tennessee, and then it's LSU. But overall, let me back out of this one here real quick. I want to go to this other one. This other one's a lot easier to read and make sense out of. Alabama number 1, of course. USC is number 2. Florida State is number 3. Tennessee's number 4. It says they've got 1 5-star, 15 4-stars, and 12 3-stars. But I thought for sure Alvin Kamara was a 5-star.
I mean, a lot of those guys, you got a 4-star guy, he could easily bump up and be a 5-star player once you get him on there.
Right. LSU, of course, is number 5. Ohio State had a very strong class. They was number 6. They had 1 5-star. UCLA, number 7. At number 7, they had 3 5-stars. And, of course, Clemson had a great recruiting class with that number 8, Auburn number 9, Georgia 10, Texas 11, Texas A&M 12. In the top 20, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, it looks like most of the SEC teams are going to be fitting in the top 25. You got Florida there and Arkansas.
Yeah, Florida's 21, Arkansas's 23.
And then you got Missouri sitting there at 25. So it's everybody but Kentucky and Vanderbilt.
Imagine that. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
Oh,
We're gonna be cold tomorrow, it's gonna be late.
Oh, no, it's everything's good.
Yep.
Everything's on time. I don't know. Folks go to school tomorrow in Campbell County.
I believe there should be.
Wide open. But
yeah.
school was on time this morning, wasn't it?
I believe it was, yes.
Yes, absolutely. My son goes to school. What am I thinking? School is on time in Campbell County tomorrow. And before we get any further, I'm sorry to overlook this. I want to say our prayers and condolences out to the Sterrett family.
Yep.
The motorcade today was, I did not personally get to see it, but I've seen it on Channel 12. It was absolutely awesome,
Yeah,
fitting for
it really was.
Detective Mike Sterrett and his family. And sorry to hear the sad news, but they've done a fantastic job. And like I said, our prayers and condolences to the Sterrett family. Just because you have a good recruiting class doesn't mean that it's going to transfer to the field. But do you feel comfortable with our recruiting class that we had?
Anytime you get a top 5 class, I think you gotta go in feeling comfortable with it. I mean, you could always have some of those players that really not pan out, but I mean, we got a top 5 class. You know, you gotta definitely feel comfortable going into the next season and the future.
Well, you know, you look at, here's the enrollees already. They have 10 enrollees that enrolled in January. Kyle Phillips, Alvin Kamara, Shy Tuttle, Jack Jones, Darren Kirkland Jr., and all these folks are 4-stars. Jawan Jennings, a 4-star. Quentin Dormady, a 4-star. Andrew Butcher, strong side defensive end. He's 6'2", 242. He's one of those guys that can probably play defensive end and linebacker at 6'2",
Yeah, one of those
242.
hybrid players, yeah.
Exactly. He's a 4-star. Chance Hall is a 3-star. He's a defensive tackle at 6'5", 305 pounds out of Roanoke, Virginia. Stephen Griffin, he's a 3-star at 6'3", 190 pounds safety. That's a very tall safety. And then the only 5-star that they've got registered for the University of Tennessee, of course, is Khalil McKenzie. He's 6'3", 354 pounds, defensive tackle. He's going to be coming in May. All these folks, all these players that we're going to be talking about here in just a second, but I'm going to go down the list, they're all coming in May.
Yeah.
Preston Williams, 6'4", 191 pounds, out of Hampton, Georgia. Drew Richmond, he's 6'5", 310 pounds, offensive tackle. That was one of those guys that just flipped.
See, it looks like they're showing Richmond as a 4-star too, and I heard earlier that he was actually a 5-star. So,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, you kind of look at that, and it's, you know.
Well, 247's got him rated as a 4-star,
Yeah.
but I'm sure he's probably a 5-star with Scout or someone else like that. You got Micah Abernathy. He's out of Norcross, Georgia. He's a 4-star. Cortez Sapp, outside linebacker at 6'1", 200 pounds. Justin Martin, another 6'2" cornerback out of Miami, Oklahoma. Sharon Jones, a dual threat quarterback out of Moreno Valley, California. Darrell Taylor, weak side defensive end at 6'4", 230 pounds. There's another one of those guys that can play hybrid, linebacker or defensive end at 6'4", 200. I'm sorry, I've lost him. 6'4", 230 pounds out of Hopewell, Virginia. He's a 4-star. Denzel Bulware, offensive tackle. He's another big old boy, 6'4", 290 out of Fairburn, Georgia. I mean, Corey Picau, which is defensive tackle out of Buford, Georgia. John Kelly, athletic. He's an athlete, 5'10", 203 pounds. He's a load at 5'10", 203 pounds. Zach Stewart out of Cofield, Tennessee, at 6'4", 295. He's actually about 310 right now. Zach Stewart is about 310 at 6'4" and a half. So he's still growing according to the information that we got the other day. Austin Smith is another one of those guys, 6'3", 235 pounds, outside linebacker. So you can see the outside linebacker, 6'3", 235, and just the guy we was talking about just a few minutes ago at 6'4", 230 pounds at a weak side defensive end. They certainly can play as an outside linebacker. Darrell Miller, cornerback, 5'10", 171. Tommy Townsend is a punter. He's a 3-star punter. He's out of Orlando, Florida. And Riley Lovinggood, which is a long snapper. And folks, if you can, let me tell you something, kids. If you want to go to college, and you don't like the big hits, or you're not athletic enough to do any of the other skill positions or something like that, or you're not big enough to be an offense or defensive lineman, you know what? Practice on snapping the ball, because this kid, Riley Lovinggood, got a scholarship, a full ride, a long snapper at 6'1", 240 pounds. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's crazy, yeah.
Hard commits, of course. These are blue shirts, and that is Vincent Perry, which is 5'11", 170 pounds, and Jaquez Bruce, which is 5'10", 165 pounds. One's out of Nashville, one's out of Knoxville. And if you're asking me what a blue shirt is, I'm going to tell you it's pretty simple. A blue shirt is one of those guys that you get that you don't take an official visit to the university, and the coaches never go to your house to make an official visit. Now, as long as they don't do that, you can play under a blue shirt rule and still play the starting of the season, where if you was a gray shirt, you would come in and you'd have to wait a year to play.
Yeah.
Okay, or a red shirt. So those hard commits, Vincent Perry and Jaquez Bruce. And Jaquez Bruce is an athlete. I mean, Campbell County played Jaquez Bruce and South Doyle. He was all over the field.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations to where it is pretty special to be an athlete like Jaquez Bruce. So, what did you think about the what did you think about the signing? The signing class?
I feel very comfortable. You know, I always look at it like this. I break it down. I think that winning football games, recruiting is 70% of it, and coaching's the other 30%. If you got a good recruiting class and you can coach them and you know the X's and O's, I think you're going to do pretty well during the season.
Yeah.
So I feel very comfortable, even this year and especially the following year. I think in 2 years we're really going to be a good football team.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Campbell County Halls is still playing. We don't have a final score yet.
Yeah, we don't have any scores or anything on that game. But
Mike DeBoyd. What do you, Mike DeBoyd? I'm going to give you some information on Mike DeBoyd real quick. Give you folks that's listening some information about Mike DeBoyd. He won a national championship with Michigan.
Yes,
as an
back
offensive
in
coordinator.
1997, I believe.
97? Yeah, you're right. And the thing about it is, Mike DeBoyd, it's actually a reunion between Mike DeBoyd and Butch Jones. The fact is that when DeBoyd was a head coach at Central Michigan in 2000-2003, Jones was his running backs coach before being promoted to offensive coordinator for DeBoyd's final 2 seasons. So, is it kind of one of those, and this is what I don't want to happen. Now hear me out, because this really ticks me off. I knew that Mike DeBoyd gave Coach Jones his opportunity in football coaching, and I get all that. But you do not return a favor to somebody else as an offensive coordinator just because, hey buddy, you scratch my back, let me scratch yours. I hope.
I certainly hope that's not what has happened here.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations. He's 58 years old. He's been out of coaching for the last 2 seasons, but he did oversee Michigan's program last month while the Wolverines conducted their coaching search that ended up with hiring of Jim Harbaugh. We all know that. But the thing about it is, last 2 seasons, sports administrator for Michigan's Olympic sports teams. Before that, he coached tight ends in the NFL for the Chicago Bears from 2010 to 2012, and Seattle Seahawks from 2009.
Yeah.
So he's been around.
Yeah.
But
he's been out of coaching for a couple seasons there. That's only the downside, I believe, that everybody would see with that.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
He also was an assistant offensive line coach for the Seahawks in 2008. He sounds like and seems like to me that he's coached a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He spent 4 years as an assistant at Michigan, the last 2 of those years as an offensive coordinator and tight ends coach. Therefore, he was not a quarterbacks coach. He was an offensive coordinator and a tight ends coach. I thought you needed to get an offensive coordinator that was a quarterbacks coach. That was the reason why everybody was saying in the media
that Zach Hazani wasn't going to be the good fit.
Exactly. So now, here's Here's the situation. During his 4-year stint at Central Michigan, he had taken over the Chippewas. The board was an assistant at Michigan for 92 to 99, and they won the national championship in 97. His first year as offensive coordinator. So that's one of the things that you can say, hey, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a national title. I believe that was the last year right before the BCS. That was the year that.
But it wasn't his.
Yeah.
Because his first year as an offensive coordinator had to be under somebody else's tutelage.
Yeah.
Prior to him being there to. as an
Yeah, it wasn't a
offensive
team
coordinator.
that he built or an offense that he built. It was
Right.
kind of he took it over and.
Exactly. And Butch Jones says it's about fit. I've got to question this offensive coordinator hire. I really do.
Well, I mean, we're going to see how it plays out in the season. And I believe if you get out there and we stumble early in a few games on the offensive side of the ball, I think it's going to reflect back. And like I was saying earlier, you know, Butch Jones really needed to go out and make a good hire because it costs you the head coaching job. When you have bad coordinators,
Right.
you're not a head coach long. So
Look at Philip Fulmer. He had Dave Clawson as
Dave
his
Clawson,
offensive
yes.
coordinator. Came
Yeah.
from the Richmond Spiders.
Mhm.
He was one of those guys that absolutely drove the last nail.
Yeah.
The last nail in Philip Fulmer's coffin.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation, but hopefully Butch Jones hasn't done that, and I hope that everything is. I hope that it's going to work out.
Yeah. I hope it's a smooth transition. We go out and do some good things on offense this year. 'Cause, if they come out and they sputter early,
Right.
it's definitely going to reflect. I mean, it reflects on the new coordinator. It's obviously going to do that. It's the same thing that happened when Dooley hired Sinceri, and I believe that was Dooley's last year as well. And then after Sinceri just done a terrible job on the defensive side of the ball,
Correct.
defensive coordinator. So
Absolutely. You're
I mean, the last
absolutely right.
two, you know, with 2 of the last 3 coaches here at Tennessee were fired because of their offense or one of their coordinators.
Exactly.
So
A defense and offensive coordinator.
yeah.
So
let's hope that trend doesn't continue.
yeah, let's hope.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I mean, I've got high hopes. I mean, we just come off a huge recruiting class. We hired a new coordinator today. I mean, I got high hopes that we come in next season, don't miss a beat,
Well-
key to continue to improve.
Butch Jones said that he wanted to add someone to the staff that was a good fit. How much of a good fit do you think a 58-year-old Mike DuBois would be for a young, energetic, one of the youngest teams in the NCAA after Mike Bajankian, which was much younger than 58, just left? That's like you. How old are you?
25.
I'm 48. You bring a different style of coaching, enthusiasm, than I would at 48. You agree?
Yeah, I mean, it's a total different style. I'm not saying that one style is preferred than the other, but it just really what the players prefer really when they come in. So
Yeah, I agree.
it's gonna be something to see. I mean, I don't want to really down the program too much, you know.
I'm not down the program.
Now, you were all for Mike DuBois though earlier.
Well,
You're the one that predicted him coming over here, and
Well, I did predict him from coming over.
But, I mean,
here.
I get what you're saying though. And after looking at that, I actually didn't know that he had been out of coaching for 2 seasons. What do we got?
Campbell County lost by a score of 71-64 over. They got beat by Halls, so that's going to move them. Let me tell you where it's going to put Campbell County real quick in the standings. It's going to put Campbell County at 6-10 and 9-18 overall. They are going to drop down below Knox Central and Powell. Depending on if Powell wins,
If
if
both
Knox
of those
Central and
teams
Powell both win, then that put Campbell County in next to last place, right above Clinton.
And if Clinton wins, how would that work? Or is there a possibility we could fall behind
If Clinton wins, Clinton beat us both times this year.
Yeah, so
we would be last.
Yeah.
So they go from being in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. They could fall all the way to last place, depending on if the rest of the teams win.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
That was a tough loss tonight.
Absolutely tough loss. Folks, we're going to step away for a short commercial break. You're watching Just Sports on WLAF Sports Network.
is the place to go for all things Cougar. T-shirts, caps, jackets, and much more. If it's Cougars, it's at Birch Screen Printing, 423-562-3044. Need T-shirts or caps or polos for your business, special event, or church function? Birch is the business to call. Lettering, screen printing, and especially for all things Cougar. Birch Screen Printing in the heart of La Follette.
Now talk a little bit about the personal trainers. How good are they down here?
They're very great. We love Howard. He's very good with people. He always has people in here. He's working with them really well. They're seeing results. He's one of the best that we have, I would say.
So now, would you guys recommend your friends to come to Castleton as opposed?
Absolutely. We got a lot of friends who actually have started coming here, and I would recommend this gym for any other gym in La Follette.
Families work out nowadays. Is this a good family?
Yes, it's very family oriented. They have places for the kids to play in the back if they're coming in while the parents are working out.
Right.
And it's very family oriented. There's things for everyone to do, really.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Folks, this is Robert again from your Sears hometown store. If you're having trouble tossing and turning in bed, or having a backache, or your partner wakes you up when they come to bed, we can solve your problem with our Sealy Posturepedic mattresses or other name brand mattresses at your Sears hometown store. So come on down to your Sears hometown store and get some rest for your eyeballs with one of our Sealy or other fine mattresses.
Just look for the parking lot full of cars. Yep, that's Charlie's Pizza.
Hey, this is Joey Fortnite from world famous Charlie's Pizza. Come down and see us.
First dates, riding with friends, celebrations, a break from work, whatever your excuse for stopping by Charlie's Pizza, everyone understands. Because we all love Charlie's for pizza, pastas, sandwiches, salads, and lots more. What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza specialty? What's your favorite Charlie's Pizza memory? It's the worst kept secret around. It's Charlie's Pizza in Jacksboro. See you there.
Listen up, Cougar fans, wherever you are. Birch Screen Printing in the heart of La Follette next to Big Creek is the place to go for all things Cougar. T-shirts, caps, jackets, and much more. If it's Cougars, it's at Birch Screen Printing, 423-562-3044. Need T-shirts or caps or polos for your business, special event, or church function? Birch is the business to call. Lettering, screen printing, and especially for all things Cougar. Birch Screen Printing in the heart of La Follette.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Now talk a little bit about the personal trainers. How good are they down here?
They're very great. We love Howard. He's very good with.
Welcome back to Just Sports. My name is Les Martin.
And I'm Colby Burge.
We certainly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day, as always, to join us. We try to be entertaining. Not always do we accomplish that. Would you
all we
agree?
can do is try, though.
Yeah. You got to give us an A for effort.
Yeah.
And I want to talk just a little bit about the wide receivers coming in for, the wide receivers that's coming in for the University of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Butch Jones has got to be a class act because Vic Wharton and Ryan Jenkins both are wide receivers. They both are requesting that they be granted their releases to go look and play football somewhere else. He granted the release. Now, most coaches would not grant that release.
Make them sit out a year, wouldn't it?
Well, make him not play at all.
Yeah.
Because if you remember correctly, that running back that played for us when Derek Dooley was here, he played 1 year and then wanted to leave. I forget his name.
Yeah, I remember that too.
He went on to play for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you're talking about Bryce Brown, right?
Yes, Bryce Brown.
Yep.
He would not grant Bryce Brown's release, so Bryce Brown couldn't play at another college.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Derek Dooley got exactly what he deserved, just to be honest with you. But anyway, Coach Jones has granted the release of Vic Wharton. The release is to Vic Wharton and Ryan Jenkins. Also, they have released from the team. Sawyers is dismissed. I don't know what position he plays. Apparently, he's not playing too well, or we didn't know who his first name is. You agree?
Yeah, I think so.
One other thing I want to cover. Here's how the 2015 class by state broke down. We got 2 kids in California, 2 kids in Texas, 1 in Michigan, 1 in Indiana, 10 in Tennessee, 8 in Georgia, 1 in Florida, 2 in North Carolina, and 2 in Virginia. So, a pretty
broke
good
down
mix.
pretty well. I mean, you're obviously going to see a lot, in-state recruits, but I mean, it's pretty good to reach out to quite a few states there, get players in here.
So what do you got going on over there?
Well, I figured we would talk a little bit about the Super Bowl tonight since we weren't on the air Tuesday.
Sure, man. We all picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, even our caller there, he tried. I think he tried to change his pick.
Oh yeah, he
on
did.
us, but no, we all went with the Seahawks.
Yeah, he tried to pull one over on us.
And I believe we all should have been right, but there was one play call that comes to my mind that.
What did you think? What did you think about the game overall?
I thought it was a good football game. I mean, I thought the best 2 teams in the league were in that game. I mean, they were both number 1 seeds, and I mean they provided a good football game for the audience.
Yeah,
they really did, and it was entertaining to watch. I mean, you hate to watch a Super Bowl and it's a blowout. I mean, I hate to say it, 2 years ago with with Peyton there, getting in that blowout game. I was a huge Peyton Manning fan. I hated to watch that game. I try to forget as much as I can about that game, but but I mean this. I don't even remember what the Super Bowl halftime show was like.
At times like this, folks, we would like to have selective memory, like we've got selective hearing.
Yeah.
But I thought Seattle played good. Seattle was up 24-14 at one time.
They slipped up in the fourth quarter and lost that. They had the 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And you're thinking, okay, Seattle's going to win this ball game. They slipped up and they let New England score a couple touchdowns. They had that good drive going that was really almost capped off by that amazing catch down there that put them down at the 5-yard line. They get, first and goal with a little over a minute left.
Yes.
They run the ball with Lynch down inside the 1-yard line.
Right.
Second and goal. They got all the time in the world. But they still had a timeout. New England elected not to take a timeout. They let the clock run down to 26 seconds before they ran the next play, which was a pass over the middle, which was intercepted by New England, and that's pretty much a ball game.
Man, I'm telling you,
And
how can you not?
It was terrible watching that.
How can you not call a run with Marshawn Lynch?
I don't understand. He had already ran for over 100 yards in the game. I think in a touchdown too. He run the ball down inside the 1-yard line. Let him get his other yard and win the game. I mean, that's what I was talking about even last week. I said, if the Patriots can force Wilson to pass the ball more, they're going to win. And apparently, they really didn't force Wilson to pass there. I mean, he was. I believe that the Seahawks really wanted him to be the hero in that situation. Actually, that came up on. I believe I was reading about it a couple of days ago, where there was a conspiracy where people were saying that they kind of wanted Wilson to have that chance to be that hero and be that superstar quarterback. And I think in that situation, I don't care who you got at quarterback, whether you got Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, anybody. You run the football when you've got Marshawn Lynch, who is arguably the best running back in the league. I mean, it's second and goal.
That's playing anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue the fact with DeMarco Murray, but the fact is he is the guy. He is the guy that you give the ball to in that situation.
And he's that power back, too. I mean, he's not one of these finesse backs. He's a power back that's going to push some people over or jump over the pile. And the fact that they elected to pass, when they came out in the formation there, they came out in the shotgun. I kind of looked a little off to me. And it looked like Lynch ran out. And I thought it was going to kind of be like a little swing pass where they're going to try to throw it to Lynch in the corner. Then when he threw it over the middle, he was just instantly picked off. And I was like, it's
my question is, how do you read that pass that fast?
I don't know, it was a bullet in there.
I know that defensive back had to read it. I mean, automatically.
Yeah.
It's almost like he was in a huddle.
Yeah. And he was just right there.
I don't know how you. And I don't like seeing New England win, folks. I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I'm not a New England Patriots fan.
And I'm not a Seahawks fan either. I'm neither team. But in that situation, you just.
Right. You got.
I kind of wanted the Seahawks to win there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of after the big pass play, and then they come down there. You got 26 seconds left. If you run the ball and you don't get it, you still got a timeout.
Right.
Then you can elect to either say we're going to run it and try to win the game here unless we come up and hurry up and get another playoff, or we can pass it, and if it's incomplete, you still got another down to mess with. But
yeah,
it is how it is. You know, they call the play. They're the NFL coaches. I guess they know more than we do on that situation.
No, apparently they don't. No, they don't know more
They
than we
didn't.
do.
They didn't there. No, they
Because
didn't.
my wife and I were sitting there watching it, and I just got to thinking, when he threw that interception, why?
Yeah.
I'm a big Peyton Manning fan.
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you the biggest reason why that I do not like the New England Patriots. First and foremost, I do not like Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't like the comparison is what you're talking about, where they try to compare Manning. and Brady.
Tom Brady has been to 6 Super Bowls. He's won 4.
Yeah.
They say he's an all-time great.
Mhm.
He's an all-time leader. He's an all-time this. He's an
Yeah.
all-time that. He's had a defense, folks. Peyton Manning has played for teams that does not or has not or ever had a defense,
Yeah.
including Indianapolis Colts.
No, it's very true. Very true. That the year that he won the Super Bowl, the defense did step up there in a couple of games, especially in the playoffs. I remember there was a game against the Ravens. The defense had an amazing game. But other than that, I mean, he's had some
Consistently,
very
he hasn't had a
bad-
defense.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no comparison.
Mhm.
Put Peyton Manning on the Patriots with the people around Peyton Manning as Tom Brady has had around him. Guess what? You're talking about Peyton Manning being to 6 Super Bowls and winning 4 of them.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
I could very well see that. I think
Now, go ahead.
I think there might be even another quarterback you could stick in there. I think you could even put an Aaron Rodgers on that team, on the Patriots team, and you could see the same result. But with Brady, I mean, he's a great quarterback. I mean, not to take anything away from him. He's one of the best, but he's had some, he's won 3 of the Super Bowls are off the leg of Vinatieri, right? So he won 3 of those off him, and
Right.
they had a couple losses there, both to the Giants, and they were able to win this past Sunday. That really capped it off as everybody making the big argument now that he's even better than Montana, which Montana went to 4 Super Bowls and lost none. So that's the only difference there, though.
Yeah, but I still don't think there's even a comparison between Brady and Joe
No.
Montana.
I don't believe so either.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
if you're going to grade somebody about as many times they've been to a Super Bowl,
Yeah, really.
and what about everything else that they've done? I know
Yeah.
Tom Brady has done a lot of things. I get that, and I think he's a good quarterback. Do I think he's an all-time leader, the all-time overall best quarterback that's
You-
ever played in the NFL? Absolutely not.
You would think the all-time leader would be the best in every career stat, though, right? To
Right.
be known as the all-time leader. So
Exactly. He would have to have all records. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air.
Hey, Les.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what you doing?
We are talking about the Seattle-New England game, the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
he's whining because Brady's better than Manning, I know.
I know you're a Brady fan, right? But let me ask you a question, a serious question.
What's that?
If you put Peyton Manning on the teams that Tom Brady has been on, would Peyton Manning be as successful as Tom Brady?
Well, like I've always told you, you gotta have that front line blocking before you can be a good quarterback.
Right?
So, well, Brady's got a pretty good team, don't he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Tom Brady has been, ever
Like you
since,
said, though, if you put Manning there where Brady's at, he would be good.
right. And
He would be better too, yeah.
that's all I'm saying. I think Tom Brady is a very good quarterback, not to take anything away from him. Do I think he's the best quarterback overall in the NFL that's ever played the game? Well, you're going to compare him against Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Bart Starr,
and that's
just to name a few.
And you look back at that, I mean, that was a different style of football back then.
Sure.
They might not put up the flashy stats as they do now because it was a different style of football. The game was a lot more simple. You didn't have a lot of these complex defenses and offenses.
And it was a lot tougher.
Yeah, it was a lot tougher game. And
just like Joe Montana, he's good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And, Joe Theismann, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another quarterback that probably was underrated.
Let me ask you something else.
Sure.
You guys know this. Now, he was a white guy. He was a running back for the I think it was the Redskins when Theismann was playing.
John Riggins.
Yep.
That guy was.
Big number 44.
Yep, that was John Riggins. He had, they say Roberto Duran, the boxer, had hands of stone. John Riggins had a head of stone. That guy, man, I'm telling you. You remember John Riggins?
no, I don't. That's a little
Wow.
Oh, buddy, he could get through that crowd, couldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he would run over you. It didn't matter to him.
They would hang on him, and he'd just keep it going.
Yeah, I remember that very well. You're looking at, I think his name was Gary, Art Monk, Gary Clark, I think his last name's Clark, John Riggins, Joe Theismann, and then you had the Hogs up front, and I don't remember their name. Mark Schlereth was one of them, but I don't remember the rest of those guys' name.
But as we watching football, best running back I thought that ever played that game and played it good was Walter Payton.
Yeah, I agree with that. Of course, Emmitt Smith has got the record, but Emmitt Smith played in a different league than what Walter Payton played in.
Right.
You know, if you remember Gale Sayers and O.J. Simpson and you remember all those guys, but you look at how the game has changed over the years, and the players just get better, they get faster, the game changes, it gets more technical, more...
play calling's different. I mean, everything about the game's a little different. So
exactly.
It's hard to sit there and say the greatest of all time. I think you could sit there and argue that a player might be the greatest in his era.
His decade or whatever, or his time or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But...
Herschel Walker's pretty good too.
Yeah, Herschel Walker was another one. I think he spent most of his time, energy and health in the USFL before he got to the NFL.
Yeah.
And of course we think of another defensive lineman, defensive end, Reggie White.
Yes.
Reginald White, as John Ward would call him. He was one of those guys that went to the USFL and then came into the league and played extremely well. He went for the money. It didn't last. He came to the NFL. And unlike Herschel Walker, he still had many good years to play in the NFL and is now the all-time leading sack leader in the National Football League.
He played for the Eagles and the Packers.
Yes.
You talking about Reggie White, played for Green Bay?
Yes. He played for the Philadelphia Eagles and he played for the Green Bay Packers. Yes.
Didn't he play college in Tennessee?
Yeah. He did. He sure did. They called him the Minister of Defense.
Yeah. Yeah, he become a preacher too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He died at the age of 44 and from sleep apnea.
Yeah. Yeah, it was right after he retired, just a couple years after that, wasn't it? Or a few years. Yeah.
But
I see another one that was good sacks and quarterbacks and stuff. Was that Ray Lewis?
Yeah, he should have never been in the NFL though. He should have been in prison.
Yeah.
You know, he got down there in Atlanta and got mixed up in some trouble and somebody got killed. I don't know how he got out of that, but he did.
Yeah.
You know, and this is what I don't understand. You hear about these guys, and they're going to go to the Hall of Fame. I think that if they get in trouble, much like Warren Sapp.
Yeah.
Warren Sapp was arrested. He is in the Hall of Fame. How can Warren Sapp ever be in the Hall of Fame as a defensive lineman? I don't know.
No.
But he got arrested for soliciting a prostitute.
Oh.
Yeah. I think they ought to strip the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it was right after the Super Bowl. It was the same night, wasn't it? Right after the Super Bowl, he got arrested for that.
And he got busted because he was out in the hallway haggling with Price.
Yeah.
He was trying to Jew him down, and they become a ruckus. The police was called, and they arrested him.
Yeah, well, he's had.
Well, I can say one thing. My team sure wasn't in the last about losing this year, I don't think, than they have been.
Who's your team?
The Rams.
St. Louis Rams, you're right. I remember that now because you asked me earlier in the season how was the Rams. The Rams the Rams came on pretty strong at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But if they would have played at the beginning of the season like they did at the end of the season, it would have been a much different outcome.
Yeah, they won a couple big games there. They got the win over the Broncos too.
Yes.
Didn't they beat Seattle? I believe they did.
Yes, they beat Seattle and they beat Denver Broncos.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. I look for the NFL to be bigger and better this time next year.
Yeah.
Well, they done about like Tennessee did, start out.
Right, exactly.
If Tennessee would have turned it, if they'd have played Dobbs the whole games, they probably had a better record.
I think so too.
I think they would have won a couple more games.
Yeah,
I think they win
the Florida
they win
game.
the Florida
I think
game.
they win the Florida game.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think there's a different outcome against it. We played Auburn this past year.
No, the Georgia. No, we played. We played Ole Miss and
Ole Miss.
Alabama, and I think the Georgia game would have been a little different too.
Yeah.
You guys remember watching Kentucky play Florida this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, Kentucky, they sure give them a run for their money, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And of course, Kentucky and Vanderbilt didn't finish in the top 20 in recruiting, which is not a good thing. Mark Stoops, of course, at the University of Kentucky as a head coach. They are, and I feel sorry for Mark Stoops because he's doing everything he can to get some kids in there to play. But because it's a basketball town and a basketball school, it's going to be tough. That's like Duke. David Cutcliffe went over there and said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about the basketball program. I'm not going to worry about what they do. I'm going to do my own thing. And the university,
He's been successful in doing it. So.
and the university has backed him. I don't think Mark Stoops has got that backing at the University of Kentucky like David Cutcliffe has at Duke. That's just my opinion. As we
Well, you guys have a good night.
All right, man.
Hey, thank you for calling.
Thanks for calling, buddy. Every time at 10 minutes to 11, or 10 minutes to 10, when we're here, this train comes
We got
by
the
here.
train coming through, yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I guess it's the 10 o'clock train coming through.
Yeah, the 10 o'clock train coming through. Absolutely. Thank you for calling Just Sports. You on the air?
Hi there. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
Nothing. They're okay right now. This I'm okay. But a couple weeks ago, I'm not okay.
Oh, you ain't? What's up with that?
See, last weekend, they started breaking on me off truck.
You do what?
They started breaking off truck last weekend. Last Thursday.
They broke in your truck.
Actually breaking, I was inside of it.
Oh, Lord, you was inside of it and somebody was trying to break in?
Yes, I'm a third break-in.
You know what I'd do? I'd carry me a gun.
And my folks window out. And the bus broke the middle of the window and the bus window out.
Wow. What did your husband say?
He asked me, I was okay. I got scratches underneath my eye on my neck a little bit, but that's all I got out of it.
Where was you at when they broke into you?
I was down there in town.
Down in town?
I know where the Farmer's Joy Show is?
Yeah?
Right there.
Good grief.
That's close to our shop up there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Thursday, brought him to the den for my tea.
Oh, yeah?
And then had that old surgery on it, and there was, and then the police stoppers coming up the hill,
Oh, yeah?
coming home,
Yeah?
and that was my bad weekend.
I reckon. That was a bad weekend. Well, are you glad? I guess you're glad it's over, right?
Yeah, I'm glad it's over with.
Well, good. we're almost out of time, so we're gonna ask you who's your favorite team, and we're gonna say we'll talk to you next Tuesday. But who's your favorite team?
Okay, you might repeat. Go Cougars.
We'll talk to you Tuesday, Kay.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
One other thing I want to talk about too. Browns quarterback Johnny Manziel enters rehab program.
Bad. Really didn't surprise me too much.
Well, that's what I put on Facebook. I went, wow, I didn't see this coming.
Yeah.
He's a partier.
Yeah.
He didn't care about the Cleveland Browns. All he's caring about is this right here.
Yeah.
Just like he did that when he walked out the day he got drafted.
And really, that don't work. If you can't play in the NFL, you're not going to have too much more of that, are you?
No.
It goes quick.
Exactly.
Especially when you're partying.
Yeah. And I tell you, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam, will drop him like a hot rock. And what I've heard, and I'm going to make this prediction because I've heard it already, that the Cleveland Browns is trying to trade up to draft Marcus Mariota.
Oh, really?
Yes. I think that's.
Well, do you think that Manziel will be involved in the deal with the team?
I don't know.
I mean,
Jimmy Haslam's got enough money. He's liable to just kick him to the curb.
Yeah.
Of course, he can't now because for the simple fact is it's going to go against the salary cap. So the best thing that he needs to do is probably trade Manziel if he can find anybody that's interested in Johnny Manziel in the National Football League. Every team passed on him except for Cleveland.
Yeah.
Dallas was looking at him, but
the Cowboys really wanted to draft him. I believe Jerry Jones was really wanting to draft him, and
it may be a good fit for Johnny Manziel is in Dallas.
Yeah.
He's
got to straighten up though.
Well, you know what? Just to stop and think about it. Justin Brandt, the defensive lineman who was driving the car that killed another Cowboy, you remember that here a few years back? He has finished his little rehab stint. He's gotten off of his probation and all that stuff, and now he's going to be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones likes people with bad attitudes, bad issues. It's like Philip Fulmer.
I guess they haven't won a Super Bowl in the past 20 years.
Right. That's like Philip Fulmer. He'd go down and get his kids out of jail Friday morning so they could play on Saturday. I mean, stop and think about it. Butch Jones, he cuts them gone.
Yeah.
I
think that's how you should do with a player.
I
mean, because you're giving that player setting a bad example for a player going forward, even into their life. You know, they figure they can get away with something. Must have been what's happened at Texas A&M with Johnny Manziel, because I don't think this is something that just recently came up with him going to the Browns. I believe there was some stuff going on at Texas A&M too that he was just being able to get away with down there.
Well, Kevin Sumlin said that he should have done a better job with Manziel. He should have offered him more help. Yeah, that did come out in the media. Folks, it is our time to say goodbye. We certainly appreciate you taking an hour out of your day to join us. And like I said earlier, we try our best to be very entertaining. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. So you have to take the good with the bad. It's almost like being married.
Yeah.
Right?
In a way, yeah.
No, it is exactly. It is exactly that way.
I haven't been married long enough, so
well, trust me, you hang around long enough, you will. You'll know that. But we want to say a special thank you to Castleton's Fitness, folks. They are one of our new sponsors, and I overlooked them at the beginning of the show. So I'm going to give the last minute or so to Castleton's Fitness. They have a registered nurse on site. They have showers. They have a sauna. They have 14,000 square feet of exercise space. They have Zumba twice a week, 3 times a week. They have kickboxing twice a week. And the kickboxing and the Zumba, except for Saturday Zumba, is included in your contract.
You can't beat that.
You cannot. So if you go down and get a contract and you go to Zumba on Monday, you don't have to pay anything extra. It is exactly tied in with your contract. My wife and I belong there. Of course, we hadn't had a chance to go because she works at the tax office. And of course, I've been working out of town. Been a little under the weather, but going to get that taken care of Friday, so everything was going to be good. So with that being said, folks, go down to Castleton's Fitness. Their phone number is 566-1393. Step into Castleton's and step out a new you. And for our executive producer, Jason Shockley, my name is Les Martin.
And I'm Colby Burge.
Thank you for joining us, and you've been watching Just Sports on WLAF Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman.